2 years, a ton of deleted content, hundreds of hours spent editing. Where do you go from here? I've always been a firm believer in the saying, the journey matters more than the destination. But what happens when the journey becomes stagnant? When taking down and re-uploading videos just to see if YouTube will push it further becomes the norm? At the time of writing, I'm sitting at 383 subscribers, more than I ever thought that I would achieve, and less than I strive to gain. For so many other people, 383 sounds like nothing. And in a way, they're right. Not to say that I'm not thankful for the few who've stumbled upon my channel and decided to stick around, but with where I want to go, that number just isn't going to cut it. So, let's talk plans. Let's talk goals. Let's talk far-off dreams. Let's talk. I get it. This is certainly an odd way of going about this. For the longest while, my content has revolved around Genshin and Honkai. But if you scroll down, sitting at just 350 views is a Phasmophobia video. A strung together, pretty visually overstimulating attempt at recreating a Maxor style video. Everyone has a hero. Every artist or pioneer will have their contemporaries. In a way, I sought to encapsulate that over-vibrant style of editing that I personally loved in Maxor's videos. But those kinds of videos take time, months, and for the size that I am, I can't afford to go months without posting. So I took some inspiration from another content creator I enjoyed, Luca Levi. His videos were simple. The comedy was carried by him and the subject matter. No fancy editing, no heavy effects. A video I could script, record, edit, and post in a day. And the first one blew up, and is currently my most viewed and most popularly received video to date, the Natlan Dea Agenda. The point being made here is that I have always wanted to be a variety content channel. I have looked to many content creators through my years for inspiration. The first few were popular MMOs, the Diamond Minecart, Sky Does Minecraft, and Stampy Longhead, the pioneers that every kid grew up watching. Then it became Uncle Dane, Muselk, Cory X Kenshin, even some figures that most would now consider problematic, like Leafy is Here or early Pyrocynical. Then it got broader. It became Nightmind, Nexpo, Mama Max. It became Some Ordinary Gamers. It became Blueprint and Wellen. It became Jaden Animations. It became The Odd Ones Out. It became Jontron. It became Game Grumps. It became all of these creators and so many more. I've always admired what they could do, how they could captivate an audience, how they could influence things around them, how they could help. I didn't mention them in that little segment, but figures like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and MatPat, they founded that depth of wonder in my heart for content creation. Between the three of them, they raised over $35 million in charity donations through their careers. And that number, I feel, is destined to skyrocket. That is the wonder I value. Silly games and dumb jokes became food for those who couldn't afford it. It became life-saving medicine for those in need of it. It became water and means of life. They created more than just childhood memories. They created means of living. Now, Jack owns a coffee company. Mark just broke records for his movie. No matter what kind of movie or what the quality of the movie was, he, an independent indie filmmaker, rivaled top 1. MatPat is in the US Congress fighting over creators' rights. Cory Kenshin, though unrelated to the other three, is making his own manga. And so here's the big first claim. To anybody watching this, I want that. I want to do that. I want to continue that. I want to set goals. I want to break barriers. I want to shred the idea of what people perceive as possible through being a content creator. Because I promise all of you, YouTube is just the start. There is so much more that I want to accomplish in my lifetime, and YouTube is just the way I've chosen to get my foot in the door. And I'm fully aware it sounds stupid. I'm fully aware this can flop. I'm fully aware that I'll lose this all somehow. But if I don't try, then I will spend the entire rest of my life regretting it. Regretting that I had the opportunity to do it and I didn't. So I would rather try and fail than not try and be stuck knowing that I never even fired my gun. Because even if I shoot and miss, I know the bullet will still hit something. And even if it doesn't, then I can still say, for my own sake, I took the shot. Because there is far too much that I want to do with my life. I want to raise more than Mark, Jack, and Matt combined. I want to change more lives than Mr. Moldy Cheese. I want to influence this world in a positive way. I want to inspire change on a fundamental and major level. At this point, I don't think much needs to be said. Those in power have failed us. They have failed us time and time again, and they will continue to fail us. So, I want to take the steps to ensure that we all have a way out, that we can all manage our safety somehow. And that starts now. That starts with building a community. That starts with getting as many eyes on me as possible, so that I can direct those eyes to greater and greater heights, so I can turn that community into a force for good. So, what is it that I want to accomplish exactly? Just how far do I want to toss this up? And the answer to that is pretty far. Like, unbelievably, way too dream-struck far. But a goal's a goal. I want to take the internet, no, the world, by storm. I want to be everywhere. Movies, books, entertainment, vlogs, charities, organizations, and hell, maybe even in the House of Reps with Matt. And sure, it won't always be some grandiose, huge scheme. Maybe not all the time. Things like that take time to make. And at the moment, it's just me, my computer, and my friends. But to me, that's more than enough to start. Here's a small little piece of lore about me. Well, small to me now, but pretty big to others. I am a victim of grooming. In fact, I am a victim of straight up predation. When I was 16, an individual who will, for the sake of things right now, go unnamed, groomed me and another friend into performing sexual acts online through roleplay and other means. To this end, it has made me very hooked on the idea of predator hunting. In fact, it's given me quite the penchant for it. It's why Mama Max became someone I indulged in. Even now knowing his videos are complete BS, they are still something fun to go back to every now and again for entertainment purposes. And while I won't share any of the other bits of lore about myself for now, I will say predator hunting is an alley of content I most definitely want to explore, as well as many other things. So now, how am I going to handle this? I can barely keep a solid upload schedule as is, and my entire YouTube page doesn't exactly inspire confidence. So what's my ticket here? Firstly, rebranding. Name, face, look, all of it. Very soon, the DM Paladin name is going to be retired. And although a part of me is pained by it, as it's the name I've been going under since I started uploading, it needs a drastic update. See, at the time, the name came to me because I was a rather large fan of Dungeons & Dragons. And although I still am, the name simply doesn't fit anymore. So I think it's time to switch into something that really tells people what they're walking into. In some ways, maybe I'll keep a bit of the old, a nod to where I came from. But most of, if not all of my brand, will be redone. So, if I'm retiring the name, what will I go with in its place? It's going to take some time to get everything worked on art-wise, but the name I'm going with is King Kosuke. Not the most original name, but a name with meaning to me. It's an alias that I've been going under on other platforms, and for those who know me more personally, a name I've used for other things. And it is the meaning behind the name that ties me so closely to it. Though the name has many meanings, the one that made me choose it originally is Rising Sun, sun's help or sun's radiance, often associated with hope and guidance. The dawn destined to rise. In the same way that I plan on being that rising sun, the dawn who's destined to rise and shine light down on those who need it, those who can't speak for themselves, those who need shielding, those who need a place to rest and regain their strength, or those who need motivation and a reason to find the strength that lies inside them. I've long since learned that laughter can go a long way, so that's exactly what I'll do. I'll make people laugh, and I'll use that laughter to power my larger, more adventurous dreams. With the big rebranding announcement out of the way, it's time to talk content and schedule. Just what exactly will be going up on the channel and when will it be going up? And the answer to that first part of the question is, well, anything. When I said variety channel, I meant variety channel. At least that's the plan for now. My idea for the time being is to put everything and anything on this channel. Vlogs, gaming, skits, predator catching videos, video essays, absolutely everything will go on this channel. Will it get a bit hectic? Maybe. Will it be interesting? Most definitely. Anybody will be able to find something on this channel that makes them laugh or makes them happy. The larger things will definitely take some time to produce, but smaller clip dump style content, that's a bit easier to pump out. Those Google Slide videos, also very easy to pump out. So the rest of the plan is simple. Silly, easy videos once every week or so, while the bigger stuff comes out periodically. Pretty simple, for now at least. When it comes to that kind of thing, that's really the only amount of pre-planning one can make. The rest comes with production and what happens in between. But starting from now, I will make it a habit to keep all of you informed. And here's where we get to honestly the most important part of this video. You guys. Obviously, for any of this to be possible, I'm going to need a lot of help. That means liking, that means subscribing, but most importantly, that means engagement. More specifically, advice. I need all of you to tell me how to get better. Give me pointers, criticism, tips, and tricks to make every single video better than the last. That way I know I'll be producing things that everyone will love. I figured I'd make a short little post like this towards the start of the year so that way I have a benchmark. Something to look back on at the end of the year and see just how much progress we've made. I think, for now, that's about all I have to say. So I'll wrap it up here. It's nice to be able to get all of this off my chest. Trust me when I say I've been holding this in for a while. With that being said, I'll catch you all later. Peace, peace.